Hi guys, and welcome to my review of Boku no Hero Academia chapter, I think it's 144 or something? It's about Kirishima again. 144 Red Riot. And it's a flashback, and you have no idea how much I like this flashback. It was so good. I really liked, because I don't think we knew this before, that Kirishima and Ashido went to the same school or knew each other or whatever. Because it seems like Kirishima definitely knew who Ashido was, but I don't know if she knew who he was, because he was very much like a background character who didn't stand out a lot. But I really liked how she was very much portrayed like as a person he wanted to be, in the way that he really wanted to be the hero that stood up for people, who knew how to resolve conflicts, and who stepped in when there was danger and stuff like that, and how he couldn't do any of that. When he tried to resolve conflict, it just kind of backfired, and when there was danger, he was afraid and didn't move. And Ashido, both times, even though she was scared or like not actually a proper hero, she was a middle schooler, she resolved both those conflicts. And I really like that, because especially because the entire chapter was about like Kirishima wanting a manly heart, and just what he always talks about, like the manly way of life, and having Ashido, a girl character, be what he actually wanted to be. I thought that was really cool, because that means that the ideal of like a manly heart isn't necessarily being a man, but it's like a way of life, if that makes any sense. So it's not that gendered, which I really like, because Japan isn't big on like gender equality and stuff like that, which I mean, I never blame manga for being like slightly sexist. But Boku no Hero Academia is really good with female representation and stuff, and I don't know if any of you care, but I do. So yeah, I really like the parallel between those two characters, and how Kirishima from the get-go was like, my quirk is very simple, it's kind of boring, and at this point in time, it's not really that good. Like, as the bullies in the beginning said, like, hey, he can harden a little bit and that's it, but they throw like, a stone or a book or whatever at him, and it's not working for Kirishima. And I really like his struggle, because he's not even at a point where he's confident enough to show his friends that he wants to get into UA. And I think that's really cool, because that's very different from the Kirishima that we meet in the beginning. He seems like a chiller version of Bakugo, like a chilly, friendlier version, and that's kind of like why the two of them are friends. But when you get more into him, he's more insecure about himself, and he has doubts, and that's really great, because the thing about all the strong characters, Daku, Kachan, Todoroki, Momo, Kirishima, they all have their doubts and insecurities that are fleshed out in these chapters, and you're just like, wow, strong characters aren't just strong, because you often see that in like other shonen manga, or just other series, like in live books, movies, stuff like that. Like, the strong characters are sometimes just strong, and yeah, most of them have like a tragic background, but they're not weakened or anything. Like, they don't necessarily have like, they have a traumatic experience, and then they grow from that. Where in the Boku no Hero universe, it's more like they're just born, or they have lived their entire life with insecurities, or something like that, like faults that stop them from being who they want to be, rather than a traumatic experience where their childhood friend or their mom or dad or sister or brother died or something like that, right? Where they weren't strong enough to protect them, but now they are. I like how Boku no Hero is different in that kind of way, because you have, again, all the main characters, they seem to all have some kind of personality problem, or they have anxiety or insecurities or something like that, and it's really great to see that. And I want to see, because I'm pretty sure this is part 1 of the flashback, so I want to see like the turning point, because he still wants to get into UA, and by the end of the chapter he crosses out UA on his like high school attendance thing what he wants to be in the future. So at some point he decides to pull that out again, but he doesn't have too long to do that, because he talked about the incident with Baku, which happened in the beginning of their was it the beginning of their third year or the end of their second year? I don't remember. I think it was the end of their second year. Or I really don't remember. But just around that time, so end of March, beginning of April. So yeah, I'd love to see what Kirishima, how he ends up deciding that UA is a place he wants to be at, because he does want to be a hero, and he can do that if he just works hard enough. And it doesn't matter that he has a dual quirk, because we know that he gets there, and we know that he still struggles with his quirk, and how there's still like things he wants to be. He wants to be stronger like Boku. He wants to be charismatic as Ashido and stuff like that. But he's still a good guy, and we all love Kirishima. Like, Kirishima is such a good guy, and I think with a lot of these characters, the audience is aware of how great these characters are exactly, but each and every one, or almost each and every one of these characters somehow look down upon themselves, and I think that's so great. And then you have like the characters in the background, like no, not even Aoyama. I was about to say Aoyama, but Aoyama also kind of looks down on himself. Like, he sacrificed himself in the exam because he was like, oh, I'm not worth as much as you guys. So the entire 1A, like, as strong as they are, they're just like they don't know how amazing they all are, which I think is so cute, because they are 15, 16 years old, depending on where we are in the stories, like September or whatever. So yeah, I thought this was really good. I really like having flashbacks for these characters, and I kind of hope that we get for every single student in their class, because we've had the main characters, we have all their background stories. So we have Todoroki, now we have Kirishima. I think we have a few other characters, like not their entire background story, but we have like enough to understand where they're coming from a lot of them. So I'd like for them to be fleshed out more, because I don't know if any of you own the volumes. You should if you don't. But there are a lot of characters where the manga is like, I would like to flesh out this character, and I have an idea for this character, but I don't know where to put it in and stuff like that. So I really hope that we get to see all of their characters at some point, because it's a good he's good at giving all the characters the spotlight, as I've talked about before. But yeah, I really enjoyed this chapter, and I hope you guys did as well. I know a lot of you are Kirishima fans as well. And really, who aren't? Who doesn't love Kirishima? He's such a good character. Yeah, I think that's actually what I have to say. I'm just really invested in his background story here, and how he ended up being the way he became. And also this makes me appreciate his and Bakugo's relationship a lot more. Because they're a lot alike in this aspect. They're both strong characters in their different ways, but they also both have their insecurities and their doubts about themselves, even though we all know how strong they both are. But yeah, also this gives me hope that Kacchan and Deku will eventually be friends, because Kirishima is kind of like a weird mix between Kacchan and Deku, so I think they could definitely make up someday and be good friends. Just need Kacchan to say he's sorry. Also, on the subject of Kacchan and Deku, I promised I'd do the Kacchan analysis within a month. I know I didn't do that, I'm pretty sure, because that would have been in June. Oops. I'll do it. It's written down. I'll probably do it next week. We'll see. Probably next week, because I have time. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna upload that at some point, because I really want to talk about it. Also, really sorry about the videos for the anime just not being there. I don't think I'll pick it up again. I just feel like at this point I've missed so much, and even though I don't really, like, I talk, it's not really reviews, I just talk about, like, themes and stuff like that. I don't feel like continuing the anime reviews, so don't expect them to come back. I'll just keep talking about the manga. Maybe I'll do like a full season review by the end of it. We'll see. Because I do have some things I want to say about the anime, just to talk about it. But I probably won't get back to doing the weekly reviews, even though I have time now. But I just feel like I've missed too much at this point. But yeah. This is what I have to say, so you can leave a like if you like anything that I have to say. Leave in the comments below your thought of the chapter in Kirishima and what you think will happen next. And you can subscribe if you want to see more. Until next time, bye!